Hello guys and welcome to the video. So today we're going to be talking about the Sath Team and how you can permanently fix your runs. Now, to kind of talk about how we fix those runs, we have to address the issue. So what's happening that's causing you to lose? What's happening is that your Lucian is dying. Your Lucian, believe it or not, is one of the most important parts of that team. So what's actually happening, and I'll explain it to you, and you can go and look at your runs. If you're failing your runs and you're like, why am I losing? Go play a run, sit there and watch the run happen, and notice what's happening. When you do lose, it's because, first off, your Lucian is dying first, right? And why does it matter if my Lucian dies? I still have all my dots, right? That's probably the question you're asking. What's happening is that Lucian is there to finish the wave. Due to how the Sath, due to the attributes in that dungeon and Sath and how the melees work, you're not going to always place all of your dots. You're going to be able to incinerate, you're going to be able to do all that, but your enemies will most likely be left with around 30, from anywhere from 10 to 30% HP, if not a little bit more, depending if you're actually landing your dots, but they're going to still be alive. That's when Lucian is supposed to swoop in and finish off the wave, right? He's supposed to use his third skill and finish off the wave. So if your Lucian is dead, he's not there to finish off the wave, which means there are still golems that are alive to deal damage. And those golems, especially if we take a look at them, it'll be easier to kind of understand, is that they're freezing and they're provoking. So the most important part is the freeze, is that they're freezing your Sath and they're freezing your tattoo. So since they're still alive, they're freezing your units and they're causing them to take tons of damage, and then they're going their turns without doing anything. So they're in that wave so much longer, which means that by the time they enter the next wave or the boss room, they're on low HP, which causes them to not be able to survive that boss room so often. So it means that you're losing, right? Your Sath is dying, your tattoo's dying, both of them are probably dying, and your melees are the only ones left. Regardless, people are dying, right? People are losing. So to prevent that from happening, you need to make sure, you have to find a way to make sure your Lucian lives. So how do you make your Lucian live, right? How do you make him survive something like that? Well, one, more likely than anything, you guys have your Lucian built on attack, crit damage, attack. Switch him off of that. Put him on speed, crit damage, attack. Or speed, crit damage, HP. My apologies. What this is going to do is, one, it'll allow him to move first, which will allow him to do his wave clear a little bit earlier. But not only that, on HP percent, will allow him to take quite a few more hits. And this may seem like it's a bad idea, because it's like, well, now he doesn't have damage. Trust me, he still has plenty of damage. And this has actually worked for me. I'm pretty much clearing every single run around a minute or less. Today alone, I've already received like new best times, like around 45 seconds, which is good, obviously. And he is very rarely dying. Sometimes he will. He's not immune to damage. He's not immune to dying. He will still sometimes die. But I've noticed my win rate with this team is so much higher. Now, you could stick to the Thrawn team and stick around a minute 30, a minute 40, and you will still clear it almost at 100%. But if you want faster run times and you want to try it, switch your Lucian off of that. That's why most people will tell you save multiple Lucians, so you can still have Lucians that do attack or damage attack. But for the one that you're using for your Sath team, throw him on speed, crit damage, HP on a swift blade set. I'll let you take a look at his runes right here. And then his artifacts. And we'll actually take this team out for a run. So one thing to note is that, again, if you may be thinking, oh, he's not going to do a lot of damage, he'll still do plenty of damage. His leader skill is amazing. And all you really need him to do, by the way, before we let this run happen, you only need him to do about 40% of the enemy's HP. That's it. So we'll let this happen. And he saw that they pretty much cleared the entire wave. And they have shield runes and all that, so even if they were to take damage, they wouldn't really actually take damage. So this is happening. That was actually just good AI right there. They would have taken a little bit longer. Though I don't know if you would call it good AI, because now that caused him to be really low by the time he enters the boss stage. Does this. They go in, do all that noise. That wasn't beautiful, was it? That was amazing, wasn't it? It's still fine. I think that we're still gonna win this easily. Yeah. That was some of the worst AI for this run. But notice that the wave clear was still really good. And we still won this. They still made it to the end. But that was, again, some of the worst it'll be. And they still won. They still won, even though that was as bad as it can get. And then, there you go. See, wave 1, fast clear. And we can keep doing these runs over and over again. There we go. And then you see now that they're all pretty much full HP. There you go. That's how a majority of your runs will go. Now, there's still the last run. 52 seconds is pretty good. There's still the last run. You can say that, hey, yeah, that last one was still kind of iffy. And if you're still scared of it, by all means, switch back to Fraun. But Lucian being tanky really does help. As you can see, he still deals more than enough damage. I could probably throw him on HP, crit damage, HP. If I could probably find the runes and find him. If I can get him to still be fast in the tattoo. He's 176. He's over 200, I believe. Or 198. Oh, God, I'm going way off topic with this one. He'd still be good. And he'd be tanky enough. Fuck it, let's throw that on him. I don't mind. Oh, we don't have that much mana. But that is how I fix my runs. And the runs are consistent. As weird as that first run looked, I finished 10 out of 10 runs each time. I think there was one time where I lost so far in the last like 2-3 days where I've been using this team. Another thing to consider is throwing your tattoo on shield runes. Now, I don't get too many shield runes all that often, but you'll occasionally get something like this where you can just throw that on tattoo, regardless if it has great crit damage, make up the HP and the other stats, but throw those shield runes on so there's that extra shield, so that there's that extra damage that they're not taking. That really does help in the waves. So by the time they enter the next wave or they enter the boss room, they still have a majority of their HP. So a combination of throwing tattoo on shield runes, making your Lucian tanky, you will win these fights. And you'll get around 40 to 50 second run times like you've been told that you would get. I promise you, try this and it'll work. Again, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but today alone, I've already improved my time to 45 seconds. Beforehand, the fastest time I ever got was 48 seconds, and that was when I first used this team. And when I first used this team, they failed like every 3 to 4 runs. And it was because Lucian was dying. The team wasn't tanky enough. So, make your team a little bit more tanky. Throw some shield runes on Tattoo or Sath. I'd recommend Tattoo because you're going to be building her triple HP. Make your Lucian tankier so he's surviving more. You do this, and your runs will increase. Your success rate will increase. But this is pretty much all I wanted to tell you guys for the video. I highly suggest you guys try this. And if it doesn't work, by all means, you could ruin your Lucian back, and you could just run with your Fron, wherever my Fron is, and you'll still succeed. But I highly suggest you guys try this. I've been using it for the last few days, and man, I'm only on the game on this account for like 30 minutes because I'll use all my energy by the time 30 minutes has elapsed. So thank you guys for watching so much. I hope you found something in this useful video. I hope you found something in this video useful, other than my terrible English. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.